Okay, guys. Hi, everybody. How are you? Can you hear me? Russia first. Great. But I cannot read your name because Cyrillic is. I'm not familiar with the Cyrillic. Can you write the name in a European letters? Hi, Jason. Here you fine. Thank you very much. Now in Italy, in Padua is 10 10:30 p.m. Where do we come from, guys? Hi Marco, hi Nico, buonasera. For all my Italian friends, this evening is the the live stream is in English because I have a lot of friends outside of Italy. Okay, my English is not perfect. Sorry for that. Hopefully you understand me. If you have question, you can of course write in Italian, but I will speak in English in any case. Okay. Pavel Bar. Okay, thank you very much, Pavel. Buonasera, good evening, Boris. USA. Okay, 4:30 p.m. is quite good. Maybe some people are still at work. Okay, okay. I would like to introduce you the THU software plugin software by Overloud. But if you have any question, you can place, and I try to answer to your question. Uh, I love the THU plugin because it is really easy to use and the simulation are really realistic. There are some very unique selling features that are available on Overloud. I'm of course speaking about the full version of THU Overloud, but there are a lot of different version. I remember you that you can find the THU software on overloud.com website. And I remember you that in this moment there is a Black Friday, so you can save up to, this is the website, you can save up to 80% of discount for many of plugin software. Not only THU, but also some plugins, some rig library, of course, THU full, for example. You can see that the actual cost is reduced almost by 50%. It's a really good offer for the Black Friday. And also the rig library are with a special offer. If you go to the shop, okay, you can see also my rig library somewhere. Where are there? Mark Studio, THU Rock, Metal, Funk, THU Full. I don't remember where is it. My library. Okay, it's here. MFTAB Classic. There is also special offer in upcoming, I think, because I don't see yet the price, but upcoming there are, and also many other offer for the Black Friday. Okay, if you have question about this, I'm available. I try to answer. Gabriele, ciao, buonasera. Mauro, ciao. Okay, first of all, I try to play something around my preset that you can find also in my website. I try to in my website, okay, marcofanton.it. You can find on the patch and profiles. Okay, there is also special offer, and you can find also THU library. These are my presets, but the rig library are available only on the THU Overloud, Overloud website. Here it is. Okay, and on my website you can find all of my actual patches for THU. Buonasera Luca, buonasera Gabriele, Jason. Okay, so I can play something, and if you have some question regarding THU, before I wanted to start about the settings. There are two ways to use a THU as a standalone, as it is in this case. Is very powerful. I love the possibility to use the THU not only as a plugin but also as a standalone, as you can see in this moment, because you can open the software and start to play. Very, very easy. Many people ask me about the latency of and the settings of the audio. In this moment I'm using, I show you my audio card. Is not any special audio, but it is the M Audio M Track 2x2M audio interface. Is really cheap, nothing special, but is pretty good. It has also the MIDI connection available. So what is the settings I'm using now to have any? I have zero latency from my side. Under my fingers, so the latency is practically zero. We can have a look on the settings. You can go to the audio settings, and this is what is the set. What is important is the sample rate. The default value is for 44,100 Hertz, but you can select also different hertz. But in any case, this data doesn't influence the latency. What is really important is the samples. The samples is for the latency. You can reduce as a much more lower the value, and much better is the latency. You can see the time response if you use, for example, 64 samples or 32 or 60 samples. The default value is 64, but for me it's quite enough. You have to take care about this value, because if you reduce too much this value, maybe you can have some pops and clicks on the sounds, because your processor cannot match with this value. So for my taste, for my needs, 64 is okay, but you can try also 32. Let's try, for example. I have a iMac i5 processor, not so big processor, and 32, for example, is okay. But of course, it depends how other programs are running in your Mac or PC. If I reduce to the 60, I don't know, still working, it's not a problem, but it makes no sense to stress too much the processor, and you can use the 64 in mix. But you can try. Nothing happens. You can try what you want. Is not a problem. Perfect. There is no other. If you don't use MIDI, you don't need to select this option. But of course, if you have a MIDI pedal board, you have to enable the active MIDI inputs. Don't forget this, otherwise your MIDI pedal board doesn't work. Okay, let me check if there are some questions. If my audio interface is an EQ section, how I have to set it to bring a flat signal into THU? I'm curious to know what is the audio interface as a EQ section. I don't know, but in any case, I think it is better. Oh, it's better that you leave the EQ on the flat mode. What is really important is that you use the instrument input, not use the line input, because your guitar has an high impedance signal, and you need the instrument inputs. You have to be sure that some audio card has a possibility to select the inputs via software with some software switch or something else. In this case, I can show you. I'm using. Let me check. Okay. I don't know if you see. No, it's difficult. But okay, instrument. This input is dedicated for the instrument. If I want to the line, I have to use the rear. This one, the rear input. Oh, okay. And about the proper setting, let me okay, I close this one. About the input, you have the view meter. Okay, here you can play a guitar. Okay, and as usual, you have to set the input of your audio card in the manner that the signal goes to the red bar occasionally, not so much. Okay, this is the correct settings of your input input on the audio interface. Okay, just bought the TB Classic on Overloud. Thank you very much, Jason. I'm happy. Thank you. Thank you very much. Fazlen, okay. Yamaha THR as an audio card, okay. But I am not sure that the Yamaha THR10 the EQ affects the EQ. Okay, pay attention. If the Yamaha it is an amplifier, could be a problem if because there is a preamp section on this amp, and you have to bypass this preamp section. I don't know if it is possible. I know that device, but I don't know in deep. So you have to be sure that you connect your input in totally flat mode. You have to bypass the preamp section. You have to be sure that otherwise the functionality of the THU and for every kind of software that you run on the EPC is influenced by this section. The guitar has to enter directly in the flat mode, like an amplifier is in the same, because when you go to the input here, this input, you have to assume that this input is identical to your amp. So every kind of device you put in between your guitar and the inputs affects the sounds of guitar in positive or negative. That depends, of course. You can put also some pedals or some effects as you want. Luca, okay, Luca answer from me. Thank you very much, Luca. THR10, you have a channel flat. Perfect. So thank you very much. We can help together. This is wonderful. Ok, Luca Brasioli, non ho avuto buona esperienza usando THU attraverso il THR10, sono virato su una scheda audio PPC. Ok, Luca Brasioli says that he has not good experience using the THR10 as an audio interface. Okay, so you are expert from that for that device, and you can help together, of course. Nico, hai capito? Buonasera THU. Nico, questa sera si parla inglese. Ok, sorry. For this evening, for this live stream, I wanted to speak English for my very good friends around the world. Okay. So we speak about the settings. What other settings that are necessary to know? Oh, okay, the other kind of settings are nothing special. You have to take care about the frequency of the sample. Usually is 44,100 hertz, but also you can select as you want, up to 192,000 hertz, but makes no sense to go so high. Okay, this for the settings. Okay, I recommend you to read the manual. Is still always available. The manual is really good, easy to read, and always available clicking on the manual menu. I recommend also you, some people ask me why they download my preset, they buy my preset, and they don't work in the YouTube. Be sure that you are using the last version 1.1.4. It is the last one. Usually the THU automatically check if there is some new upgrade, and you can decide to update your THU immediately. But I've seen some people as very old version, and there is a compatibility problem, of course. Ok, Fabio Carrai, tell me, hai mai fatto un tutorial su come far vedere a Prologic una pedaliera MIDI e farla a sua volta programmata per THU? Ok, Fabio ask if I ever make a tutorial to set up the MIDI pedal board for Prologic. First of all, I have not Prologic, I have Logic. Maybe if you have this request, I can do this. Hi Marco, thank you for English tutorial. Hi Thomas. Thank you Thomas. I'm very happy. I hope that my English is quite enough good that you understand me, of course. Joker says quindi meglio ok, which sample rates? It's depend the difference between 44 or 48 is not so big. There is a difference, of course. The quality of the 48 is better, but you can select both, and it's really difficult to feel some difference. But depends of the standard that you are using. If you have to share your music with some other people, some people prefer to use the 48, some people 41, so you have to take care, otherwise you have some problems. So the main problem is to establish a standard for the people that are working together in the same project. This is really important. From the point of view of the quality, my personal opinion, there is not so big difference. There was a problem in 1.14 version. THU, the software canceled the IR. Do they know? No, no, my IR are still there without any problem. But Thomas, you can take care about the question of Luca regarding this problem, but I don't touch it. I can find all my. This is a very old preset, for example, and I can have my impulse response as they are, without any problem. Okay, I don't know. Maybe Thomas can help me to answer that. Okay, let me check other question. Gabriele Bazzella says, al di là dei gusti personali, in linea teorica più performanti in un settaggio impostato da testate cabinet. Ok, Gabriele asks if it's better to use the rig player or the standard preset with the cabinet and the amp. Let's depend of the taste. The rig player is a really unique features of THU that can permit you to catch your amp like this and have your amp in your system. So you have available you have a lot of amp available. This is the list of the amp, is pretty good, amp and effects, of course, and you increase the availability of amp using the rig player. So I think there is not one is best, the other is not good. My opinion is you use what you want. Of course, I have my amp as it is, of course, is my sound, and for me it is really good. But everybody has his personal preference and personal taste, of course. For sure, the rig player is, let's say, really realistic. I can confirm this. Really realistic. I don't know if it's possible to say, but okay. Sorry for that. I mean, this new version, the software deleted the contents of the ER folder. Look, as I told you, I have not any problem, and you can check. I can check some very old. This is very old. For example, let me check. This is a very old preset I never opened before, and I can see the impulse response as I left. I don't know what is the real problem, for sure. Ok. Ok, grazie Marco, ma non ci ho capito niente. Ok, sorry Joker, but for this evening I want to help our international friends. Okay, I can play something, and for example, for my last preset. It is made with a 666 clean 6 amp from DV Mark, for example. This one is three channels amp with the new impulse response Wolverine from Valhalla. You know, many of you know that I have a very good collaboration with Valhalla impulse response, and this is the last cabinet they develop, and I'm very happy to test it, but now it's available for everybody. I create this preset, a new preset based on this DV Mark. It is Italian amp, very good for me, and I can play something that okay, you can listen to something. Now there is only the amp, the cabinet with the Wolverine impulse response and reverb, nothing else, the standard reverb. I switch off the microphone, otherwise you feel the peak of the string. Okay, I give you some tips, some hints regarding the use of the delay. This is the standard delay. Remember that, okay, I always use this typical chain. So the compressor is in the first effect, that's in the amp. I also use sometimes the EQ, but I use the EQ to usually to have a boost, the clean boost for the solo, the cabinets, the impulse response, chorus, delay, and reverb. Okay, the delay, chorus, delay, and reverb I usually use after the cabinets, like in the studio, because you have to imagine that the cabinets has the microphone here, okay, and usually in the studio you have the microphone that enter in the ambient effects, chorus, delay, and reverb in this sequence. Remember, in the THU that you have possibility to use, okay, I make a zoom, the mono and stereo effects. Okay, if I use mono, of course the repeat is in the center. If you use stereo mode, you have the stereo effect. Okay, if you let this parameter to 0, is the same that in mono, but if you raise up this value, you discover a very wide effect, really amazing. So there is a separation between the repeats of left and right. Sometimes you can create the chorus effect with the delay. For example, if raise up the effect amounts. Okay, so try to play with the stereo parameters. Really very nice. Okay, if you wanted to select the time ratio, you can also use the tap. When you can double click, for example, you can set the time or with the knob or with the tapping. And if you wanted to set the parameter to the default, you have to click the command option and okay, command and double click on any knobs. Any knobs, if you do command and double click, this parameter returns to the default value. Remember this. This is the wave chorus. Remember that okay, the delay and the reverb are always set up in stereo mode. If you set in the mono, you can listen the difference. And it's not the same, of course. It's much more better to use in a stereo mode. Okay, this is for the clean channel. Let me check if you have some question regarding this, Marco, about teacher with the XFX. Oh, but it's a very different system. One is a hardware system, other one is a software system. It's really difficult to compare because XFX is a software and hardware together, so it's really difficult. I think the rec compressor comes at the end. As you prefer, there is not any special reason. I prefer to use the compressor in the beginning, as I do with the pedal, but you can do what you want, of course. It does nearly nothing in the beginning, only compressor pedal. Okay, but this is possible, yes, of course, but is very good if you try to make some experiment, and if you reach the target, you have done the perfect job. This is my opinion. Okay, THU offer AQ84 at 20 euro. It works as an app, or it's just a plugin for DAWs? What is AQ84? Let me check on the AQ84 products. I don't know what is it. AQ84. The legend British EQ behind the original. I think it's a plugin. It's not a standalone system. Okay. EQ Classic Hyperrealist is not. I think is a plugin for the DAW. Poi why use as app alone? Of course, as a plugin. Yes, Adalbertus, you can use. In this moment, I'm using as a standalone, and I mentioned before that I like very much this software because you can use even as a plugin or a standalone software. Sometimes when I need to try something or to make some practice for myself, makes no sense to open the DAW, and it's really, really comfortable to use the standalone version. Padawan 007 plus the Chico sounds better with external impulse than the built-in stuff. Let's say I in any case prefer to use the impulse response. For me, the impulse response technology offered from many companies like Valhalla are really, really realistic, and they gives a really good contributor to make the sound realistic. Okay, not the chop tones one. You're right, not the chop tones one. I don't know what is referred. I don't know. Sorry, Adalbertus. I don't know what is referred to your sentence. I tried tones of impulse and also built-in achieved better tones with external impulse on the built-in. Me too. I'm agree, Padawan. I prefer to use the impulse response. The only problem is that the impulse response are available only on the full version of THU. You have to remember that. Okay, I can play some other tones from my library. Okay, this is the last preset I created. Is not the name is not Maracle, is different. Is the name is 666 316. Okay. Okay, so let me check some other question. Marco, get Eventide AK3000 as a plugin and also try the sounds toys to produce. Okay, I will try the Eventide. Thank you very much. I think that that will be very, very good. Okay, Microsoft Microshift perfect for the 80s hard rock. Okay, thank you very much. How about impedance curve or impulse into THU? What do you mean with impedance curve? Let me check. Impedance curve. What do you mean? This is, for example, the cabinet I'm using. In this case, I use the wide and flat settings of the impulse response. I have not any high cut or low cut, only the impulse response as it is, nothing else. So in this case, one hint I wanted to give you. Maybe, okay, I wanted to show you my rig player based on the THB. Okay, pay attention of the sound. The sound could be maybe some fizzy for you. Okay, I close the microphone, sorry. Take care about the sound, not as in the standalone sound, but in the mix. Because if you feel something fizzy, something in the high hand of the frequency, this high hand disappears when you play into the backing track. I can give you an example. Remember this sound, and this is the same sound that I'm using now in this backing track for okay, let me check. This is the song from Totos, Alone. So I play in alone guitar and with the track, over the track. So I want, with this sample, I want to show you how is important to create your sound, not only as a standalone sound, but also embedded into the backing track. Otherwise, you cannot recognize that the real feel and the real mm, dimension of your sound into the complete backing track. So sometimes some people say, but your sound is too much fizzy, too much high end. Yes, but when I play in a band, this the frequency are mixed up together, and there is a very big difference. It is much more better to have the height, and you can cut the high, that you have to low high and you have to rise up. So it's much more difficult, especially for the sound engineering. Okay, let me check some questions. Okay. Okay, but when you cut it and listen again to the previous tone, you wonder you can cut. Okay, create a sound double track. Example, wave file. No, cannot. That you. I don't think that the THU can create the wave file. You have to use the DAW. And it's quite easy. So you have to use the THU, like, or you have to use the OBS software. Like in my case, I'm using OBS, and I can record even the audio and the video track. But it's much more. It's not natural. I suggest you to use the DAW. It records. And the THU, the user can profile a rig by himself, or the rig player can load the rig only. No, in the THU it's not possible to profile, to create a rig, but you have to have a special agreement with the Overloud to do that, and the Overloud is responsible and create the rig player. I cannot create. I can only follow some guidelines made by Overloud to create my amp, but I'm not able to do that directly. The process is done by Overloud. Tommy Gas, ciao Marco, il canzone dei Toto è mitico come sempre. Thank you very much. The song is Alone from the last album. Okay. Only rig from it. I try to follow you, but sometimes I don't understand your question because are too much inside. How I can download my profile in rig player? Okay, I already answered, Pavel. You are not able to do that. Only Overloud can create the rig library. Is it possible to use a THU as a loop without a pedal MIDI controller? In the THU there is the loop. Where is it? A looper is here. Okay, but you have to create something to start up the record. I don't know, for example, if I can do this. You have the possibility to have the count in, okay, and you can start to play. Let me check. So you can use also the loop as it is, because you have the count in, you can start to play and easily record your loop. Tommy, regarding standalone guitar sound, look at the isolated track of Rosanna is really weird. Yes, it's a really is a good example, Tommy. If you listen the isolated track from Rosanna, the sound is completely different compared to what you usually learn and what you listen to the complete mix. And this is the reason that you have to take care of when you create the sound. It's not easy because you have to create your sound into the mix, not in the alone mode. Carmine BS all in the looper to export a WAV file. Anyway, thank you very much. Okay, I don't know if it's possible to, but I don't think that it's possible to export this loop on save mix. There is a possibility to create save mix. Save mix. Let me check what save mix. What is done? Let me check save mix. Prova. I don't know what is saved. Sorry, because I don't know any special. No, I confirm you that is saved. You can also to save your track. I can do again. Okay, I save the mix and you find it here. I do again. Save mix. I type on documents prova. Okay, I replace because I already done, and you find in your file prova here. Documents. So, okay, it's possible also with THU. Thank you that you give me the possibility to explain this, because I discovered this new feature now. What Duccio says, teacher is kind of prefer. Okay. So replay is a sort of a pre-made preset. Yes, is pre-made preset. Not yet. The rig player is a photo of your amp. This is what you see now is my settings of my amp. I clean the clean mode, for example. Okay, the crunch. Okay, and you also with the original cabinets, the amp and original cabinet, but you can also change the cabinets. In this case, is matched, but you can also use a different kind of cabinets. It's a really flexible system to combine different kinds of sound. This is the sound that I got. If I put a microphone on the cabinet of my amp, I have this sound. Okay. Very useful. Okay. Well. Let's create something new, for example. Okay, I start to create a new preset, starting from 0. Add or add test. Okay, no, sorry. Test. Okay. So we can select which kind of amp. Let me check what could be nice to show you. This Randall, for example, XTC, or this one. I like this one. Let me check another one moment. The Randall overdrive booster. Okay, this one. When you put new amplifier, the TH2 asks you if you want to add the matching cabinet. If you click no, you have only the amp, and I go to select the cabinet, the IR. Remember that the IR is available only on the full version of TH2. And usually my basic rig is also composed by reverb. You can use this, the very simple, the digital reverb here, and that's it. Of course, I have to upload the impulse response, otherwise the sound is really bad. Okay. Okay. If I click on the impulse response, it is selected my folder. You define which folder is for the impulse responses on the settings and IR path. Sorry for my pronunciation. So I select my path for the impulse response folder, and when I click on the cabinet, I can select. So let's select the last Wolverine. Wolverine is here, okay. For example, this one is my preferred. Okay, and it is selected. We can select one or two impulse responses, and you can also enable the accuracy, so the light, medium, or high. I suggested to set up the high, so to use the full how can I say, time response of the impulse response. You can select the high cut or the low cut. Let's check. Pretty good. Okay. And now I go to set up my amp. Okay, and usually add a delay. So delay. Here I remember you again that you have to use before the reverb. I like this, and to enable to raise up the stereo knob to create a separation with the repeats on left and right channel. Okay, very easy. We need 20 seconds to create a very good rig. Okay. Do you believe that TH2 is comparable with to Kemper in managing a rig, excluding the possibility to profile of the? I think yes. Yes, for sure. I think yes. It's really comparable. Save. Randall. I can make the difference. I can listen you the difference between this preset and the previous one. Carmine says that the workflow in the Tier 2 is nice, is really nice, is nice, easy also, and is, how can I say, natural, because you do what you do normally in the real world. You place your pedals and effects in the same way that you do in the physical world. Very good. And also you can use the split to create some interesting effects. I can show you some preset with the split. This one, for example, I split the output of the amp in 2 channels, and in the channel I put a delay to create it's a double effect. Okay, Carmine, you're right. This is not possible with Camper, and you're a very T2 is really flexible, but that because you can create your chains as you want. You can put the effects in the order that you prefer. It's really powerful, and you also can create very special sounds like this. This is very vintage sound made by the Dark Face. I create this huge chain. It's difficult to show you in the same screen. Okay, there is the compressor, there are 2 overdrive, 2 TS overdrive, and the tremolo, vibrato, and so on. But the basic is this. This is the really simple, clean. Sorry, there is a tube screamer open. Okay, this is the clean. I can switch off the delay. Ooh. Okay. question from Carmine. Sorry, last question. Does T2 as equalization? You can, yes, you can use any kind of equalizer, yes, equalization, sorry. The components, you go to the EQ, where is it? Equalizer. You have the typical Mesa equalizer, 7-band equalizer, and also parametric equalization. So we have a wide range of EQ possibility. I show this kind of rig with is a typical simple rig made by clean amp and the cabinets and the reverb, and I will show you how it's possible to create a wide range of sounds by using the effects like you do in the physical world. Is the same thing. Okay. Okay, this is a sample that what you can do with a single rig. It's a long one rig, but you can create a wide range of sound. So I have using only the overdrive, but also you can use the tremolo, you can use the vibrato, the phaser. It's a stereo phaser, Ok, it's a vintage rig. Let me check the question. Duccio, good night to everyone, and special thanks to our guest Marco, great player. Thank you very much. Good night, Duccio. See you next time. Okay, and Carmine. Okay, so it's 1 hour that I'm here. I'm very happy to have your participation with this live stream, and thank you very much. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, to click on the bells to receive the notification, and I like to wait you the next live stream. Thank you very much. Good night, Nico, Carmine, Duccio, Sergio, Pavel, Luca, Tommy, and all other attendees for this live stream. So if you have questions, you can put your question under the video. I try to answer. And don't forget that we are in the Black Friday time, and you can buy the TH2 and also the rig player for very special price. So good night, and see you next time. Thank you very much. Bye. Good night.